Very good. A special birthday is a big number. I had the chance to spend some time with everybody here at the club, my friends, my family, so it was good. Well, the fact that we could get minutes and exposure to some of the players that haven't had the possibility to do that in recent weeks. Get the level, get the competition there. Playing between us is not the same, and we had the opportunity to do that yesterday, and it was good. Yeah, we scored right at the end, and it was a tough match. We had some really good periods where we struggled. We conceded two very poor goals in that game with simple giveaways that put the game into a really difficult position. And it's a team, especially at home as well, is doing really well. Patrick and the coaching staff, I think they're doing a great job, and we know how it is to play in that stadium. Yeah. Mm. Well, a huge achievement. I think you have to be very special to be nominated to be there, and I think Patrick deserves it for what he brought to the England game, to what he did for Arsenal, and what he brought to English football. I would have them all today, so just try to refocus them. Obviously, when they go in international duties, they all the time ask to be doing different things, different roles, different kind of pressure. For some of them, there was the first international, so emotionally as well, it's very draining, and make sure everybody's fine, and look for the challenge that we'll have ahead. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. Gal from Sky.
Bukayo is feeling good. He's training today, hopefully, if he's still feeling as he was yesterday. And Aaron, it's out. He's still feeling not great. He hasn't trained yet, so we don't know what he will be able to do on Monday. Well, he wanted to play against Villa, but it was a significant injury, and he had to take his time, and the physios are doing everything they can to make him available, but we will see in the next few days when he starts to do more real training. Well, I think the majority of them, they had some really good experiences, some really good performances. They scored some important goals as well. Really sad for Mo and Lenny, because the second time that it happened, something which emotionally means a lot to him. So I'm sure the team will be here ready to help him. Well, I'm glad that at the end we have unified the criteria for the whole Europe, and is now how we do it, how we manage it. There will be some changes because that gives you other opportunities, and I think the game will have some changes, tactically some changes. I think the most important thing is that you can manage much better the load of the players. Make sure we don't slow the game down too much, and I think it's good. It gives players the opportunity to be on the pitch, which is what they want to. And the options that you are given to change the game, to refresh the game, to change in many different positions, something that you are always restricted to do, and probably the timing of when you are thinking about those shots, because when you have three, the last shot is always in the back of your mind. That if something happens and you do it too early, you can pay the consequences, so that gives you more flexibility.
Thanks, Gal. George from the BBC.
Hello, Mikel. I just wanted to Tommy Yasu back. Yeah.
I think it will be close. He's been training more and more. He has the boys now back, so he will be joining some sessions this week, and let's see how it is.
And that injury, that he shouldn't have been out that long. Why was it longer than was planned? Why did it take a bit longer?
Because he had a recurrent injury, but in the other calf, which was strange and difficult to predict. But he's been through a lot the last 2 years with all the COVID, the amount of games that he's played, the transition to a different league with intensity is completely different. So we can find the right reasons and hopefully don't go through that situation again, because especially for him it's been tough.
I might be tempting fate, I don't know, but you're very good at defending corners. Still haven't conceded one throughout the season. So what's the magic of how that has unfolded?
Everything you do in attacking defense is about the whole team. Every individual has a role, every unit has a role, and the team has to be with the right level of focus, aggression, understanding of what can happen, and try to avoid it.
But there must be some sort of coaching going on in terms of how, because it's a remarkable record not to concede so far.
Every phase of the game that we try to train it, to practice it, and to improve it to the highest level, and obviously the set pieces are key in modern football.
Can I just ask you, there was a lot made in the international break after the game about some of Arsenal's celebrations. I just wondered if you had a response to what some of the players said. Say Arsenal won.
I don't tell the players to celebrate or no. I think that's something that it comes right from them, and it's great. When I see them hugging each other, touching each other, enjoying each other, celebrating with the fans that they made a long trip to be with us at 12:30 kickoff, and show the gratitude for them to be supportive. For me, it's great.
That's what it's all about, isn't it? When you win, that's the best thing.
Absolutely. This is the best. I think the best moment as a football player is after winning a match, the atmosphere with your teammates, and they have to celebrate, of course.
And another story in the week is about Bukayo Saka and possibly a new contract. Just when we started talking, I hope.
Well, we are extremely happy with Bukayo. The progression he's having, what he's bringing to the club, what he's bringing to the team, and obviously we are never going to share any conversation related to private contracts, but that we are really happy with him.
Thanks, George. Ian from TalkSport.
Hi, Mikel, you well? Big game on Monday. You play last after everybody else. Is that an advantage in terms of this battle for the top four? Because especially with you and Spurs, it's getting very tight.
We're going to focus on what we can do. That's the only thing we can control through the TV. We can suffer or enjoy, but there is no much that we can do. What we have to do is win the football matches that we need to do to achieve what we want, and that's all in our hands.
And Spurs game, you still got to go and play there, hasn't been rescheduled yet. When I last spoke to Antonio Conte, he was quite heated about the fact that he was disappointed the original game was cancelled. Would you rather the game was played sooner or right at the end of the season?
I don't think we're going to have a choice. So whenever the Premier League decides to do that, it will be the right and the only time that we're going to be playing.
Under 21s, Mario Balogun scored 3 goals over the 2 games that they played. He's obviously on loan at Middlesbrough this year. You're keeping him very close, aren't you? Because obviously it could be that you are looking for strikers for next season. What's happening to Ketty back as well?
I think Flo is doing what he needed to do, and probably we should have done it a little bit earlier. It's always difficult to time when is the best moment to do that, but he's having the right exposure. He's playing a different formation, sometimes a different role under a manager and a club with huge history, and you can see how he's developing. So this is giving us information, and it's going to give us more detail about what's the next best move for him to keep developing, because he has, and we want him to be part of our future.
You always believed in his ability. You were very forceful actually when he was talking about your contract for him. In fact, you wanted to keep him. I suppose in this meeting he said that under 23 football was not really doing it for him. And men's football, he's learning so much now playing men's football with him.
But the step is too big from what he was doing to the Premier League, and you could see that is not fair on him to assess just in certain moments whether he can do it or not. So he needed that pathway, he needs that exposure, he needs to go through good and difficult moments, he needs to be able to adapt and find himself in a dressing room and develop the importance that he's going to really require to play at this level, and I think he's doing all of that really well.
A couple of final ones from me. We saw this week with England, Harry Maguire was booed by a certain section of England fans. And it's happened before at Arsenal with Granit Xhaka. I think Manuel Bue suffered from it as well. It's not happening right now, but in terms of support, should they always get behind the team, or do you think it's acceptable sometimes if they want to show their displeasure with the player?
Obviously, they have the freedom to express what they want, but if you ask anybody related to football how you're going to get the best out of a player, obviously, is totally against any odds that the player is going to improve if he gets put. That's, I think, something that we will all agree. So you want the best for your team, the best for the national team. Obviously, that's not going to help the player individually, which is not going to help the team collectively.
Final one, quite hard to one. World Cup draws tomorrow. Your eye more on Spain or more on England?
I'm very Spanish, you know that, but obviously the gratitude and the feelings I have for England is very close. So I'm always cheering for the England team, and as well because we have a lot of players.
Professor Mark from the PA?
About England players. Kai obviously didn't play those games. Now that he's fit, he's recovering from his COVID. He's always pleased that he's had a break from playing in those games. Would that be good for Mark?
I don't know how much he would have played. Sometimes when a player is in a good moment, you don't want to stop it. It's what it is. He had COVID. We had to take him out of the national team. He has some time to rest and recover, and he will be training the next few days to again hit the form that he was in. I think Bukayo said that he's not going to complain, that he wanted some consistency in the refereeing, and that's all. The only people that a person can protect the player is the referee, because he guides the level of the game, the level of the contact and physicality that is allowed or not allowed in a football match. And I think we have to protect our best players. And I haven't discussed anything like that with Santi, but of course, if you ask anybody in this football club or any supporter about Santi, they will probably have a smile on their faces. And I don't know if he's still playing. I don't know what he wants to do, but I'm sure he will be related to football because I know him well. All in says I spoke with him on my birthday, but we didn't discuss that. That's okay. Not since he made a debut, but obviously we are really aware of what he's doing, how he's developing. He's our player. I think we are really happy with the decision that we made, because again the exposure and minutes and responsibility on his growth at his age is something that we could not guarantee in this season, and it makes a lot of sense what is happening with him, and we are glad to see him the way he's improving.